Hi, I'm Kevin Murphy. I'll be teaching AP Physics 1 this year at LT, as I have for many years in the past, with a fantastic group of colleagues. This is a partial group of colleagues. We couldn't take a picture this year because, social distancing and all. So two members are missing. That would be Joe Barker and Matt Ramft. And one last thing, Jim Mishar's teaching, as he always does, AP Physics C and Physics Prep. So he's not in our AP1 group, but he's always looped in because he's been doing this a pretty long time. As a matter of fact, the 5 people you see here have been teaching the combined teaching experience of the age of LT. Yes, 132 years, since 1888. And I do not have 100 of those. I've got more than anybody else, but not 100 yet. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. I also happen to teach college astronomy and college physics. College astronomy here at LT because we offer the course for dual credit. And then college astronomy and college physics at Moraine Valley Community College. Here are my Canvas pages for those courses. I feel lucky. We've moved remote, but the college moved remote with grades that counted last spring, and I taught a summer session. So really, much of what you see your son and daughter going through this semester has already been vetted and tested on other students. So we're not making things up as we go. A lot of it's already laid out. So what you can expect them to see, what you see for your students to do, we've got our typical units. Embedded in here, we have 3 exams, and I'll come back and talk about those exams momentarily. That said, on any day we meet, we've got some sort of activity to do. And with those, typically, we have the virtual classroom where I'll lead, and we're there for most of that 75 minutes. Rarely will we send your son or daughter off. So if they're supposed to be in physics, they're supposed to be in that Zoom meeting. Now, I might be taking a break to do something, but we'll always wrap up at the end as well. When we do this, basically, let me just suggest, physics is nothing more than wash, rinse, and repeat. I'm going to do a problem. I'll set up a problem. We'll solve that problem. I'll give your son or daughter a chance to practice. Set up a problem. I'll solve the problem. Give your son or daughter a chance to practice. And repeat. And repeat. That's how we get good at physics. It's one step at a time. We pride ourselves on having most of these students do really well on this AP exam, even though I'll share with you that this is, I believe the AP1 to be the most rigorously graded test by the College Board. Way too many 1s and 2s and not enough 4s and 5s. Nationally, not here at LT, not here at LT. Almost everybody in my class, in the many years I've been doing this, I've only had 1, 2, all 3s, 4s, and 5s. As I take it as my personal responsibility to get your son and daughter to the promised land. Nothing worse than taking an AP course and not being able to take and get credit for that course with the AP College Board. So here's what we've got. Now let me share with you a couple things. First, all of this stuff up here is practice, simply practice. In other words, we'll do some of it in class. Some of it will be left to be sent off on their own. Because the course that I teach, the 150 course, which is basically 101, Physics 101 down at U of I, it's currently asynchronous, meaning I have to provide all those lectures and whenever the students can take them. So many of these things are recorded. So almost every lecture has a 10 or 15-minute video that runs through at least the basics of how to solve some of these problems. And they're there, we've made them available for your sons and daughters. So when we're all done with meeting, I expect the students to go back and, right now at least, go back and at least knock off the most basic kind of question. And then if they're stumped, there's a video there for them to walk through it with me. So they can walk through it again and give it another shot. Then we have some additional Canvas practice over here that they're going to do. Now, right now, I'll tell you the same thing I told them. I'm on them right now to practice everything. They need to practice everything. And that's because I don't know who's going to do well on this exam. Once we take that exam, it's not I'm not about to make a person who did really well on this exam, got an A. I'm not going to make them practice everything. I'm not going to make them practice just for practice for busy work. That's not how it works. If you're good at something, you move on to the next thing. You can move on to more advanced questions. I always supplement things for the students who are master those. We got some more difficult problems, so maybe you can get that 5. It's rare on the Physics AP 1 test. So I'll display these grades in Infinite Campus, but keep in mind, they're not for the grade. They're just for practice purposes. Of course, perfect practice makes perfect, which is why the feedback, they always get what the right answers are for all of this. So let's talk a little bit about how they get that grade. How do they get that grade? Well, basically, we're going to have 3 exams each semester, and each of those exams comes with, just like the AP test, multiple choice portion and a free response problem solving portion. If we get back in the class, we'll actually have a lab component too. That's why there are 7 graded categories. Right now, we'll probably just give them an overall lab score until we get back into the building. So here's how this works. On our first exam coming up at the end of September, basically you'll have 1 FRQ and 1 multiple choice. If they do well, they can move on. However, let's say they got a 1 or a 2, because it's scored like on the AP rubric. On exam 2, they'll get that first FRQ, that free response question, similar kind of problem, and multiple choice, and they'll get to redo that. If they get a 3, 4, or 5, they can keep those. Likewise for the third exam, they'll get to repeat anything from exam 2 they didn't do, and then our final exam at the end of the semester, they can repeat and work on anything that they still hadn't mastered, right? And then when that's all said and done, we simply take a look at how many points they have. So you can imagine 7 categories, 4s on all of them, that's 28 points, they have an A. As long as none of them was a 1 or a 2, because that doesn't show mastery, and only 1 of them is a 3. I'm sorry, 2 of them. We get a 2 or more as 3s, and still have an A. That's how that works. It just looks how many categories we have. A B works similarly, right? 18 points, so that's 3 across the board for the most part, right? 3 times 7 grades is 21. Really could actually have a little bit less than that, all right? You can have up to 1, 2, so that's how the exams will be scored, okay? All right. Let me share with you the fact that physics can be challenging, but I think with that practice, and like I said, I've had pretty good results teaching this remotely, where I'm not even involved with the kids, except when at the college, except when we have office hours. I have office hours a couple hours a week in the evening, and they can come in and check in. But I think the fact that we're meeting 2 to 3 times a week, I really don't think we're going to miss a beat in terms of progressing through the physics curriculum. I say that with confidence because I have been here a long time. I joke that I haven't been here the 100 of the 136 years, but I have been here 30. I got another 5 before that, before I came to LT. So that's a long time. So I happened to pick out a yearbook. You see me right here? Yeah, this is the 1995 yearbook. Here's a little bigger picture of me. I picked out 1995 because that's a pretty special year for this reason. Turns out that there I am, my long hair. I'm happy I still have it all, but it's not quite so long in the back. But that same year, see this gentleman right here, Bob Sherman right here? Yeah, he was a junior in my physics class that year, and now he's my colleague. And he actually has been my colleague for way too long. And not way too long in terms of he's been here a long time already. And so time progresses. Time progresses, all things must change, but I got enough in the tank for 1 more year to get to your son and daughter through this course, and I'm excited to do so. Right. Don't hesitate to contact me with comments, questions, or concerns. Don't tell Bob I showed this picture. He'll just be mad. All right. You all take care, and we'll talk to you soon.